There's a doctor in Chicago pulling in $380,000 a year. She leases a BMW. Her kids attend private school. She eats out most weeknights. Her mortgage runs $4,200 a month. On paper, she's rich. In reality, she couldn't pull together $5,000 without selling something or taking on debt. This isn't a made-up example. According to a 2025 Goldman Sachs report, 41% of Americans earning between $300,000 and $500,000 say they're living paycheck to paycheck. 40% of those earning over $500,000 report the exact same thing. Read that again? 4 out of 10 people bringing in $500,000 a year feel like they have zero financial cushion. They earn more in a single month than many Americans earn all year, yet they carry the same financial anxiety as someone making a fraction of their salary. Most people assume income fixes financial problems. Hit 6 figures and the stress goes away. Pass $200,000 and you're set for life. Cross $500,000 and money stops mattering. The data tells a completely different story. What you're looking at is called the high-income poverty trap. People earn more, spend more, keep saving the same tiny percentage of nothing, and wake up at 55 wondering where it all went. The trap doesn't care how much you make, it only cares how much you actually keep. This isn't about judging how anyone spends their money. It's about understanding a financial pattern that quietly affects millions of Americans who never see it coming, because they assume a high income automatically means financial security. Let's break down exactly how the trap works, who ends up in it, and how to tell if you're already caught. The numbers don't match the assumption. The numbers reveal something counterintuitive about financial stress in America. According to research cited by multiple financial institutions in 2025, Americans earning $100,000 a year are more likely to say they're living paycheck to paycheck than those earning $50,000. In certain income brackets, higher income actually correlates with higher reported financial strain. A PYMNTS study found that 48% of people earning $100,000 or more feel they're living paycheck to paycheck. Among those earning over $200,000, 36% say the same. Bank of America's analysis, which defines paycheck to paycheck as spending more than 95% of income on necessities, found that roughly 20% of households earning over $150,000 fit that definition. Nearly 24% of all American households meet this bar in 2025. These aren't people who can't do basic math. They're often highly educated professionals in demanding careers. They understand compound interest and retirement projections. They know they should be saving more. This trap runs on psychology, not arithmetic. Lifestyle inflation happens gradually. When income rises, spending tends to rise right along with it. This is lifestyle inflation, and it creeps in so slowly that most people never notice it happening. A $15 lunch turns into a $25 lunch. The Honda becomes a BMW. The perfectly fine apartment becomes a house with a guest room nobody ever uses. Each individual upgrade feels justified. You earned it. You can technically afford it. The math works on paper. But the upgrades keep compounding while the savings stay flat. And once a luxury becomes routine, giving it up feels like a loss instead of just returning to normal. What actual millionaires look like? Research on real millionaires paints a completely different picture than how most high earners actually live. The classic findings from The Millionaire Next Door showed that most millionaires don't look wealthy at all. They live in ordinary neighborhoods, drive older cars, and rarely flaunt their money. Ramsey Solutions found that 94% of millionaires still live in middle-class or modest neighborhoods. A 2025 Empower study found that over 62% of everyday millionaires still budget, hunt for deals, and steer clear of extravagant living even after crossing the $1 million mark. The typical millionaire has rarely spent more than $399 on a single piece of clothing. About 60% live in homes worth under $500,000. Warren Buffett still lives in the same house he bought back in 1958 for $31,500. This creates a strange paradox. The people who actually build wealth behave nothing like the people who appear wealthy. The doctor in her leased BMW looks richer than the plumber driving a 10-year-old truck who's sitting on $2 million in investments. The authors of The Millionaire Next Door coined two useful terms: PAWS, prodigious accumulators of wealth, and UAWs, underaccumulators of wealth. A janitor earning $50,000 a year can be more of a PAW than a doctor earning $700,000. Spending habits determine which category you fall into, not your income. Their formula is simple. Multiply your age by your pre-tax annual household income, then divide by 10. That's roughly what your net worth should be. A 50-year-old earning $250,000 should have around $1.25 million. Anyone below that line is an underaccumulator, spending their income instead of building wealth with it. Most high earners fail this test badly. The Charles Schwab 2025 Modern Wealth Survey found that Americans believe you need $2.3 million to be considered wealthy, and $839,000 just to feel financially comfortable. Meanwhile, the median net worth of American households sits around $193,000. The gap between what people think they need and what they actually have is massive. The moving goalposts. This is where psychology takes over. When you're earning $400,000, but your net worth is $300,000, you don't feel wealthy, you feel behind. The hedonic treadmill keeps spinning, and you keep running just to stay in place. 63% of respondents in Schwab's survey said it feels like being wealthy today requires more money than it did last year. The goalposts keep sliding forward. Someone hits $500,000 in net worth and discovers comfortable now requires $839,000. They reach $1 million and find out wealthy now means $2.3 million. Nothing ever feels like enough because the definition of enough keeps changing. Where the debt actually sits. Spending patterns show exactly how this trap plays out in real life. High-income households earning over $100,000 carried an average credit card balance of $12,760 in 2025, according to multiple research sources. The top 20% of earners hold 35% of all U.S. credit card debt, despite being a much smaller slice of the population. That seems backwards until you understand how credit functions differently at different income levels. Lower-income households use credit to survive their financing necessities because the cash runs out before the month does. Higher-income households use credit to maintain their financing a lifestyle that technically fits their income on paper but leaves zero margin for error. Either way, they end up in the same spot, owing money with interest piling up. Total U.S. credit card debt hit $1.277 trillion in Q4 2025, according to Federal Reserve data, the highest balance since tracking began in 1999, up 66% from the pandemic-era lows of early 2021. According to Bankrate's 2025 research, 36% of credit card holders earning $100,000 or more carry a balance month to month. That's lower than lower income brackets, but it's nowhere near the near-zero rate you'd expect from top earners. 61% of Americans carrying credit card debt have been in debt for at least a year, up from 53% the year before. Debt is becoming a permanent fixture rather than a temporary one, even for high earners. Bigger numbers, same squeeze. The fixed cost trap hits high-income households especially hard. Earning $50,000, your housing costs are capped by what landlords will approve you for. Earning $300,000, you qualify for mortgages that stretch your budget just as thin, just with much bigger numbers attached. A family earning $80,000 might spend $2,000 a month on housing. A family earning $300,000 might spend $8,000. Both families are putting roughly the same share of their income toward shelter. Both feel equally squeezed. The higher earner just has more expensive problems without any more actual flexibility. Private school tuition, multiple car payments, upkeep on a vacation home, country club dues. These aren't frivolous in the usual sense, they're lifestyle commitments that behave like fixed costs once they're locked in. Pulling a kid out of private school feels unthinkable. Selling the vacation home feels like admitting failure. Downgrading the car feels like publicly announcing that things aren't going well. The trap tightens precisely because the lifestyle is so hard to walk back. According to Clarify Capital research, six-figure earners are responding to financial pressure in telling ways. 47% are putting off dream vacations, 31% are delaying home renovations, 26% are postponing car purchases, and 17% are pushing back buying a house. These delays are a signal. High earners sense they're stretched thin, they just haven't actually changed the spending habits that got them there. The savings rate tells the real story. According to the Bureau of Economic Analysis, the U.S. personal savings rate stood at 3.6% in December 2025. Americans are saving roughly $3.60 out of every $100 in disposable income. During the pandemic peak in April 2020, that rate hit 33.8%, when stimulus checks arrived and spending options temporarily disappeared, giving Americans an accidental taste of what aggressive saving actually feels like. That money is long gone now. This pattern holds across income levels, and that's the crucial part. Higher earners save more in raw dollar terms, but their savings rates often stay just as thin because their spending scales right along with their income. Someone earning $75,000 who saves 4% puts away $3,000 a year. Someone earning $300,000 who saves 4% puts away $12,000 a year. The higher earner is saving 4 times as much in dollars, but relative to their income and lifestyle costs, they're just as exposed to a financial shock. Compare that to how actual wealth builders behave. Research from the Millionaire Next Door found that millionaires typically invest at least 15% of their income before spending on anything else. They pay themselves first, treating savings as mandatory rather than optional. The gap between 4% and 15% compounds enormously over time. After 30 years, the 15% saver has built real wealth, while the 4% saver has scraped together a modest cushion that probably won't carry them through a comfortable retirement. Comparison culture makes it worse. Social comparison speeds up the trap. Lifestyle creep isn't new, but visibility is. Social media puts everyone else's vacations, renovations, and purchases on display in real time. A 2025 Goldman Sachs report explicitly named keeping up with the Joneses as a driver of paycheck-to-paycheck living among high earners. Six-figure workers feel pressure to match what their peers are spending, even when the math doesn't support it. It creates a strange dynamic where people in the top 5% of earners feel financially inadequate because they're comparing themselves to the top 1% or to carefully curated social media versions of people who might actually be more leveraged than they are. The comparison isn't just against the neighbors anymore. It's against everyone in a feed engineered to show only the highlight reel, where the money actually goes. Discretionary spending data shows exactly where the money leaks out. According to Empower data, food delivery spending rose 10.2% year over year, from $162.40 to $179 a month. Streaming spending grew 12.5%. Rideshare spending climbed 7.9%. These are all convenience categories: coffee chains, delivery apps, subscriptions, small individually, easy to overlook as they pile up. But $179 a month on food delivery alone adds up to $2,148 a year. Stack on streaming, rideshares, subscription boxes, and premium apps, and the total creeps toward real money that disappears without leaving much lasting value behind. At higher incomes, the same pattern just shows up in bigger numbers. First class instead of economy, hotels instead of Airbnbs, restaurants instead of home cooking. Each upgrade feels small on its own, but together they build a lifestyle that eats the entire income to sustain. Research shows millionaires spend differently. About 44% spend more on experiences than on luxury goods, but they're picky about which experiences are worth it. They spend intentionally on what they actually value and cut ruthlessly everywhere else. That selective frugality is what separates real wealth builders from high earners caught in the poverty trap. Location changes the math. Geography adds another layer. In Schwab's survey, San Francisco residents said you need $4.4 million to be considered wealthy. Southern Californians said $3.4 million. New Yorkers said $2.9 million. Living in an expensive area inflates both your costs and your expectations at the same time. A $300,000 income goes a lot further in Kansas City than it does in Manhattan or San Francisco. Someone earning $350,000 in New York might genuinely feel squeezed because housing, taxes, and baseline costs eat up a much bigger share of their income than they would for someone earning half as much somewhere cheaper. They're earning a coastal salary and paying coastal prices, and those two things often cancel each other out. What real millionaires do differently? The contrast with actual millionaires is stark. Research consistently shows 79% of millionaires are self-made, with no inheritance at all. Only 31% averaged $100,000 or more a year over their careers. Many built wealth on modest incomes through consistent behavior sustained over decades. 73% of millionaires have never carried a credit card balance. They understood that compound interest either works for you or against you, and they made sure to stay on the right side of it. The average millionaire spent 28 years working, saving, and investing before crossing the $1 million line, and most didn't get there until around age 49. It was a slow, unglamorous process, not a dramatic overnight win. This timeline matters because it shows exactly what the high-income poverty trap costs. Someone earning $300,000 who saves nothing for 15 years has given up their most valuable compounding years. Even if they start saving later, that lost time is gone for good. There is a way out, but it requires some uncomfortable choices. Escaping the high-income poverty trap means confronting a question most people avoid entirely. What is all this spending actually for? The doctor earning $380,000 could save $100,000 a year if she chose to. She earns enough. She just spends enough to keep it from happening. Choosing differently means accepting that the BMW can be a Honda, that private school might not be essential, that eating out every night is more about convenience than nutrition, and that the house with the unused guest rooms mostly impresses people who don't actually matter to her life. This can sound like judgment, but it's really just making trade-offs visible. Someone who genuinely values private school or fine dining should absolutely spend on those things, just consciously, understanding the real cost, instead of defaulting to it because that's what people at their income level are supposed to do. The high-income poverty trap isn't about deprivation. It's about intention. Most people caught in it never consciously chose their spending patterns. They accumulated expenses gradually, each decision reasonable on its own, until the entire paycheck was spoken for. Reversing it means auditing every recurring expense and asking whether it still delivers value that matches its cost. Often, the honest answer is no. Subscriptions sit unused. Square footage sits empty. Cars sit underdriven. Memberships buy status more than actual use. Save first, spend second. The automation principle works at any income level. Saving whatever's left after spending doesn't work. Spending whatever's left after saving does. Someone earning $400,000 who automatically invests $120,000 a year will build real wealth no matter how they spend the remaining $280,000. They'll still live well, just not quite as well as someone earning the same amount and saving nothing. That gap compounds dramatically over time. After 20 years of consistent investing, the saver has generational wealth. The spender has a collection of lifestyle memories and barely any assets to show for it. The math is straightforward. Earn $300,000 and save 30%, and you're putting away $90,000 a year before returns. At an average 7% return over 20 years, that grows to roughly $4 million. Earn $300,000 and save 5%, and you're putting away $15,000 a year. With the same returns and timeline, that becomes about $650,000. The difference is $3.35 million. That's the true cost of the high-income poverty trap over 2 decades. This trap sticks around because people optimize for the wrong thing. Optimizing for lifestyle means maximizing what you consume right now at the expense of future flexibility. Optimizing for wealth means accepting some constraint today in exchange for options later. Neither approach is objectively wrong, but only one leads to the financial security that high earners assume their income should automatically hand them. A $200,000 income with a 30% savings rate builds wealth faster than a $400,000 income with a 5% savings rate. The math isn't complicated. The behavior is. 77% of Americans don't feel financially comfortable, no matter what they earn. 40% of people making $500,000 a year live paycheck to paycheck. Total credit card debt just hit an all-time high, while incomes remain near record levels too. The evidence is overwhelming. Income alone doesn't fix financial problems. Only deliberate choices about how much of that income you actually keep, rather than spend, create the security that most people assume a high income should provide automatically. The trap is real. Getting out of it is possible, but it starts with admitting that more money was never actually the answer. What you do with the money always was.